I had to put my phone on Do Not Disturb because, yeah, because my phone always is assured to ring or do something. Hi, my name is Kim Love Jones. I'm a certified life and relationship coach. And I just want to take a minute and share this on my Facebook. I want to share my live on the Facebook, y'all. On the Facebooks. On the Book of Face. Hey, sugar, I see you. I see you, my sissy. Hold on one second. I just want to put this inside of my group. Yeah. Hi, Telly Tell. I love you, my sister. I love you. I love you. I love you. Hey. I had to cut my I had to cut my thing off. Yeah. I had to cut it off, cut it down. Hi, I see y'all watching. Say hey. I don't know who else that is, but say hello, say hello, and say hello. Yes. Say hello. Now, I wanted to jump on here tonight. I'm going to get right to it. I'm going to get right to it. First of all, I want to know if y'all saw the Protected Class show on Monday night here on Facebook and on Bars and Hoops Radio. I want to talk about that real quick. I just got to tell you, it was so amazing. It was so dope. Najee threw me a little bit. He threw me just a little bit, but it was an excellent, excellent show. I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait until next week until we do our next show. The other thing I wanted to tell you real quick, is that I am having the very first in-person workshop at Platt Deutsch in Franklin Square on March the 8th, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. And guess what, sisters? The Brothers is coming out. I already have a brother who bought 2 tickets. Okay? So I'm not telling you that because it is a workshop to be here for healing, and it is really centered around women and that whole thing. But every time I do a workshop, the brothers come. The brothers come. It was good, wasn't it, Telly Tell? It really was. It was good. And the brothers always come out to support though when I'm doing a workshop. So I love that. And again, it's open to the men and the women who want to come, but it's all about us healing. And what I find is that that's absolutely amazing, is that the brothers are in alignment. Like they own their stuff. The brothers who come, they are ready to be up front and center. Hear me when I tell you. And the way that they deal with things just absolutely blows my mind. But it makes it really, really good for everybody who comes through, and all of the women get a kick out of them and some of the things that they say during the workshop when I do the Q&A session, right? So it's really, really, really going to be dope. And I really want y'all to get y'all tickets, come out. It's going to be a wonderful event. And it's not going to be a dress to impress because it's not a party, it's a luncheon. We want to dress up a little bit because there will be pictures and video being taken, right? I won't put you on video if you don't want to be on video, but there will be video and pictures being taken. So it's going to be absolutely dope, and I can't wait for y'all to come. But can we talk about, let me get right into it. Can we talk about the stinking thinking? Can we talk about that? Can we talk about the thinking that always leads us to a broken heart? I'm not even trying to be deep or heavy, but if you believe a thing, then that's what you're going to get. And I really mean that. Like a lot of times we be thinking like, oh, I want this and I want that and I want this. But you got to have what it takes to sustain that. So one of the first things that we got to work on, me too, I had to work hard on this, is to change my mindset. Because I had the mindset of, one day I felt like a nut and the next day I didn't. So whichever way the wind blew, I would move like that. But today I know that in order for me to have everything that I desire in a relationship, I had to change the way that I saw things, the lens through which I look, right? So I was talking to somebody about a week or 2 ago, and this is the reason why I'm bringing this topic up. And they were talking about the fact that they are getting married. And they said that every time they talk to their partner always says, I, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, right? And then today, somebody else called me with the same thing, right? And I was kind of shocked to hear that it came up twice. Because when we're talking about relationships and getting married and bonding together with another individual, it's got the conversation and the dialogue has got to be centered around we. The conversation should not be you need to or I am. It's got to be we need to do this together. Because if we're going to be successful in our relationships, we have to think about what we're thinking about. Because being single for any length of time, especially when you've been single for a long time, right? You kind of take on this thing that you do everything by yourself. But when you just make a decision that you want to get married, right? You have to have a we mindset. It can't just be single, I'm going to do what you need to do. No, this is how we're going to get through this. This is how we're going to work through it. This is what we're going to do together, right? And that's the only way to get there. Because what will happen is if you're not careful, you will literally end up breaking up, or it's going to break your heart because the person is not, if you always talking about what somebody else need to do, and you're not talking about what you need to do to become a better person or what the two of you can do to make the relationship grow, I promise when I tell you it's going to lead you to a broken heart. There's a such thing as being marriage minded, right? And I think sometimes when people have been single for so long, they don't see the we in the equation. They either see the you, singleness, or the I, again, single. So a marriage mindset says, I'm going to protect you. I'm going to cover you. I'm going to make sure that we include one another in our thought processes. Because when I get married, I don't want it to be me as a separate person and them as a separate person. No, we're supposed to be coming together. That's what it's all about. And so a lot of times, this is the truth, people have the game messed up and they can't figure out why every time they meet somebody, that things don't work the way that they want them to work is because of our single-minded attitude. Like, imagine you meet somebody and they say, and they all wonderful and they great and you know that they're a good person, and they go to say, I want to marry you, and then you turn around and say, yeah, but maybe, we got to do some things. Maybe I get a divorce, right? Like, you bring that into why would that be a part of the discussion? Why would that be a part of the equation? It's because you're already preemptively striking. You already don't believe that the two of you can build a life together that is substantial, and the two of you together have the intestinal fortitude to stand with one another, right? So that be a problem. That be's a problem for a lot of folks, because it is the way that you think that is leading you to getting and having a broken heart, right? And the other point I wanted to bring up, because I'm not going to be on here long, the other point I wanted to bring up is the fact that the only string you get to play on is how you control yourself, right? Have you ever met somebody who is completely out of control, who got a bad attitude, who walks around and treats everybody like it's something on the bottom of their shoe, and they can't figure out for the life of them. And I know y'all know people like this, why their lives are in turmoil. They can't figure it out, right? And so part of the reason why things are in turmoil is because of the way that you think about things, because of the way that you treat people, right? And so I don't know that people even recognize who they are or how they're being. They think that it is okay, and it is not okay, right? So if you're going to be get married, if you're going to have a great relationship, if you're going to be with somebody and you want somebody in your life permanently, then there are some things that, we have to work on in terms of our mindset in order to get to where it is that we want to be. And that's just real talk, right? I was talking to somebody today and I was saying, you know what, when I talk to people on the phone, it depends on who I'm talking to. I'm very loud, y'all, just so y'all know. And the reason why I tone my voice down is because when I was listening back to a video one day, I could hear how loud I was and I didn't like it. So then I said, when I go live, I'm going to make sure that, I calm my tone down because I be, like, I'm like a lion, right? When I talk sometimes because I'm so loud and I think I'm funny, so I'm laughing loud and I'm talking loud. But the reason why I'm bringing that up is because sometimes we don't pay attention to how we render to other people. The words that we say to them are sometimes unnecessary, right? But the reason why those words even exist or even are coming out of your mouth is rooted in something inside of you. Right? And so I know y'all know people. I know you do. I'm not kidding. Like everybody knows somebody, and you can look at them and say, yeah, I know why you ain't got nobody in your life. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got that friend that you be like, child, she a hot mess. But you love her though. But you love him though. But you hear what he be talking about, and you say to him, like, come on now. And you might not even call him on it because you're like, he's just an angry person. Or, she's just angry. She's just a mad Black woman or, a mad woman, right? And they can't figure out for the life of them why things are not working well in their lives. It's because of what you think about everything that's going on in your life. And when we begin to see things through a different lens, our lives begin to change. When we take the time to reframe our thinking, right? When we stop seeing it like everybody else is the problem, when we begin to take responsibility and accountability for where we are, the whole game changes for us, right? Everything changes. And I know because I've done it. I know because I've done it. I'm not just telling you something I read in a book. No. No, I allow people to be exactly who they are, and I'm not trying to change you. I'm not trying to make you be who I want you to be. I want you to show up being however brilliant and bright of a light that you know how to be. And I'm going to accept you for that. And I'm going to love you right where you are. That doesn't mean you will have a seat at my table because everybody can't be at your table. Some people bring chaos, right? But the reality is that I know who I am and I know what I desire for my life. And I know that once I understood that I was the captain of this good old ship, once I understood that I get to choose who and how I'm going to deal with people, then I started to change things. Tell said to me, well, she ain't said to me, but it felt like she was talking to me. She was talking about people pleasing, right? Chantel Holly wrote that on her wall, and I felt that thing like I was a people pleaser. I am not, right? But I can imagine how it affected everybody who read that. I want to literally go. I want to literally go to the quote because it was so powerful. It like really blew my mind, and I'm not a people pleaser, right? But the quote is, "People pleasing isn't love." It is self-abandonment. That thing almost took me out. And I'm not even a people pleaser. Right? And the reason why I say what I say about that, and I introduce that into the equation, is because it doesn't honor you to be around people who do not, in a real way, know how to treat you. Right? If you're dealing with basic people, and you must feel like you yourself are, right? Because why would you deal with basic people? Right? The people who don't have a standard, the people who don't honor you, the people that don't treat you the way that you deserve to be treated, right? The only reason why you would do that is because a lot of people believe that that's all that they deserve. I'm not saying you, but there are a lot of people that do not stand 10 toes down for what they believe in, right? They don't. They don't have standards, right? And then they wonder why people walk all over them because you don't have a standard. Sometimes also objective based. I don't know what that means, Wayne. I don't know what you're referring to. I don't and how you doing? I haven't seen you in a long time, sir. I haven't seen you in a very long time. Yeah, I guess I haven't been live in a long time either, right? But the reason why I say what I say, the reason why I say what I say is because you're only going to engage with people, right, that you think are worthy for them to be in your life. And that's the truth. Wayne, I wish you would expound on what you just said, sweetie. I really, really do. Because that's the reality of the situation is that stinking thinking will always lead you to a broken heart. Because if you don't think much of yourself, if you don't think much of yourself, right? What do you think other people are going to think of you? That's why we need clarity around who we date, who we entertain, who's in our life. Sometimes you can't even really trust your family to be there for you. I know I've heard of horror stories about people and their families, right? And because of that, you have to guard your heart. You just can't let everybody come in because everybody doesn't mean you necessarily any good. And that's the truth. So it's our stinking thinking that sometimes leads us astray, has us all over the place, dealing with people that we would not ordinarily deal with, right? How do you see yourself? What is your mindset like? How do you view the people that you've dated in the past? How do you view the people that are in your life right now? More importantly, how do you see yourself? That's more important than anything else. How do you see yourself? I've been doing like a series almost, and I heard my pastor say it, but before I heard my pastor say it, I was saying it. We got to begin to see ourselves the way that God sees us, right? Wayne says some individuals who may set out, I'm going to post your comment, Wayne. Some individuals who may set out to be people pleasers may do so because they have a plan or a reason or an objective for doing such. Right? A people pleaser. Got you. Okay, I got you. I got you. I got you. That makes sense, and you're right. You're absolutely correct. A lot of people, Wayne, to be honest, a lot of people struggle with that though. And you don't know what their agenda is. You really don't. Like you don't know where they're coming from. And sometimes you be like side-eyeing them, right? Raised eyebrow. Like, what's up with that? Right? Because you have to be careful because you don't know what people's agendas are. You really do. So I appreciate that comment, and that's the truth. You're absolutely correct. It's a lot of reasons why people do stuff like that, you know? But the reality is that we still have to check how we think, how we see, how we live, who we're allowing into our lives, right? You ever been around somebody and you get with them and you're hanging out with them, and every time you're around them, they bring you down mentally, spiritually? You're like, wait a minute. When I leave you, I feel drained. I knew this young lady, this woman, once upon a time. Every time I talked to her, she used to drain me. I had to finally tell her, like, we're not doing that. We are not doing that. We're not doing the draining. I can't do you because it was too much. It was always this heaviness. You know, what's the name of that Charlie Brown character with the dust all around Pigpen? She almost had a cloud around her. She almost had a cloud around her. It was absolutely crazy. Like, because every time I was around her, she would drain my battery. And I was like, "Oh, I can't do this." And I literally had to tell her, like, "I can't do you, sis. I can't. I cannot talk to you like this. We cannot." And and like, she cool, but we couldn't be friends. Because every time I talk to you, you draining my good battery. Who can do that? Who wants to be around? Who wants to be around people who drain them all the time? Who always something always wrong? They don't even wake up happy, right? Who can do that? And that's the truth. And so I think about that because, you know, if people don't have a good attitude, if people always are negative, if people don't own their stuff and take responsibility for who they are and what they do, if people are always pulling on you, always pulling and pulling on you, like, because they always need something from you and they never give anything to you. I know we're servants, and I'm down for that. I'm always going to serve people as best I can, but I'm talking about excessively, right? When people are always doing something, you have to say, "Wait a minute, wait, hold up, hold up. I can't because you're draining me." And you have to be very clear and very careful that you understand the difference and that you stop them before they infiltrate the camp and have you now stressed out, exhausted mentally and emotionally. And you don't, and they never fill up your cup. They never serve you back in the ways in which you serve them because they're always taking. And that would drain anybody. Real talk. It would drain anybody, right? But I know you all know people who every time you see them, you be like, I know why you ain't got nobody in your life. Like, you could see them. You could see them almost coming from a mile away, right? You start talking to them, you're like, "Oh, they so cool." And then you slowly find out, like, why? Like, "Oh, I see now." I'll be like, "Oh, okay, I see." I don't say anything because you get to be who you want to be. You get to do what you want to do. But if you hang out with people with stinking thinking, if you continue to interface with them, and you think that you're going to change them or make them into something that you may want them to be, I promise you it's going to lead you to a broken heart. And it's not just because they have stinking thinking. It's because your thinking has got to be stinking if you think they're going to change. They're going to change. My biggest battle I've ever had in my life was to stop trying to tell other people what to do. Stop trying to make correct people and make people be a certain way and do a certain thing. Just stop it. And I stopped it. Because I'm not doing this anymore. People get to be whoever they are. And I make a conscious choice and a conscious decision to love them, either up close or at a distance. And in this particular case, I would have to make the decision to do it at a distance. And here's the reason why. Because it does not honor you. It does not honor who you're trying to become. It doesn't honor how you want to show up in life. It doesn't honor what you need for you. And so our own clarity, truthfully, is what is important. Our own mindset, right, is what is extremely important if we can get us together, if we can own our stuff, if we can. Hi, Patricia. How are you, my love? How are you? I'm praying for you, sis. I'm praying for you. I am. My heart goes out to you. I was going to inbox you earlier today. I'll inbox you when I get off the live. Yes, I will inbox you. Yeah. So I had to reframe my thinking. I had to reframe my heart. Because the one thing I learned is I don't get to tell, hey, sis, I see you, my love. I see you. Is that I don't get to tell anybody else what to do. And all I do when I try to tell other people what to do is I break my own heart. It's not so much what they're doing, it's what I'm doing. It's how I'm showing up. It's my expectation of them. And so I had to back up, fall back, and I had to reevaluate where I was and who I was and say, Kim, you don't get to tell people what to do. You get to pray for them. You get to pray for them. That's what you get to do. And you get to honor where you need to be. You get to honor what you need for you. And you even get to walk away from people. Because you don't always, you don't have to stay tied to and connected to people. That's a choice. Right? And if we're not pouring into each other, then what exactly is it that you're doing? And why are you spending that absorbent amount of time with people who do not have the capacity to serve or to give you at the level that you're serving them? And when you realize that because you have clarity, right? When you get clarity, when I got it up in the dome, when I got that, then I began to realize that it wasn't them, it wasn't anything outside of me. It was everything that was going on inside of me that I needed to check. Because nobody broke into my house. Nobody made me be their friend. Nobody made me love them. Nobody said, oh, Kim, you're going to be, and like hold a gun to my head. I accepted and I allowed. Because I thought there might be an opportunity or a chance that they might change. It was almost as if I had not seen what I was seeing. Like I didn't know what I already knew in my spirit, woman, man. It was almost as if, okay, well, I'm just going to go along just to get along. And then every single time we do that, every single time, we dishonor who we are and what we need. And every time you dishonor you can't have anything but a broken heart. And that's the truth. And so that's why I know that we have to reframe our thinking. We have to. We have to change our mindset and the ways in which we see things. When we meet a partner, we got to work through, and I said this earlier, I'm going to repeat it, whether or not that person is marriage-minded like you are. Whether they want the same things that you want, and when you know that they don't, it's time to go. Honor that. And while you might be brokenhearted, because that hurt you, I promise you'll be better later on. Because we can't kick the door in to be in people's lives. We can't kick the door in to make them accept us and love us and understand our worth and our value. I was told the other night that I got a little, when I was after the radio show, somebody had said to me that, I almost seem like I hate men, right? Or I got a ought against my brothers. And I said, no, baby, you got me all wrong. I'm very even-handed. I got a can for whoop for my sisters and my brother. And I will give it out exactly as it needs to be given out, y'all. I'm so serious. I love my brothers. I love my brothers. I love my sisters. But the truth is that a lot of times we really do break our own hearts. We really do stay longer than we should by believing that we have the ability to help people see our value and our worth. Like, Kim, you seem like you got something against me. And I said, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I love my brothers. And I'm always going to champion y'all because I think y'all are the best thing since sliced bread. Howsomever, everybody is not ready for what you're ready for. And you really genuinely have got to see the writing on the wall so that you can matriculate upwards, so that you can elevate. You sometimes have to walk away from the things that are not in alignment with you, even if it hurts. Especially when you know you're a good person and you got a good heart, and and you don't want to do anything but be a blessing to them. Sometimes you just gotta let the sleeping dogs lie. And I don't mean that in like a bad way when I say sleeping dogs. No, I mean like you can't make anybody understand where you are. You can't. You just have to honor what you know is your truth. And your truth should be rooted and grounded in the Word of God. And if it doesn't line up with that, then truth. Let's really talk about it. If it doesn't line up with that, then chances are you probably shouldn't um, be with them anyway. And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be funny. Because what in the world are you going to do with somebody who doesn't honor you? And how much are you selling yourself short when you know that in advance, but you stay anyway? So somebody else can really legit have stinking thinking, and you can see why they're not in a relationship. And you can see clearly, like it could be one of your girlfriends, one of your guy friends, and they be talking to you, and you be like, okay, and you love them, like cook food, but you also realize the reason why they don't have anybody in their lives. You listen to the way that they talk. You listen to the views that they have. But imagine now if you was the one with the stinking thinking because you was trying to convince somebody of your worth and your value. That's not on anybody else, that's on you. And so I realized that up underneath all of that, right, there is something in us that needs to be healed. And notice that I am including myself in the equation. This is not outside of me, this is inside of me. We have something that needs to be healed in us. We need to work through some things within ourselves. Because if I'm always angry and I'm always frustrated and I'm always trying to prove my point and prove my worth and my value to everybody else, I know in those particular instances, I'm not honoring who I really am. And I'm just being honest. If we're going to get there, we got to be 10 toes down and honoring who we are and what our intentions are for our lives. Never mind what they think. Never mind all that. So when I heard somebody say to me like 2 weeks ago, and then they said it again, then somebody else said to me today the same situation, that they heard their potential partner say, I'm going to do, and it wasn't inclusive of them. They didn't say we and their fiance. They didn't say we. They said I. And it didn't include them. It's almost as if we need to take and pay attention to what is going on, what people are saying, the words, because you got to have a certain mindset to be in good relationships. It can't be all about you if you're in a relationship. It cannot. And it cannot be all about the other person because both of y'all would drain each other dry and no relationship would work. And that really truly is the problem. Because we don't always have a servant's heart. We don't always understand why we're here and who we're here to serve. And sometimes we get caught up, and getting caught up messes us up. And that's the truth, right? But again, it's because of the way that we think. And it's the people that we're around who are stinking thinking as well. I always say to everybody, especially when I'm teaching my classes, water seeks its own level. So you're going to meet people where you are. And if you ever notice, if you turn on the faucet and you just let the water, it's going to go where it go until it levels out. It's just going to go where it go until it levels out. And when the level, and where whoever you met at that level, that's because of where you at. Water seeks its own level. And that's the truth. And that's why we got to be careful. Not just about other people and their stinking thinking. You got to be careful about what you're thinking about them and how you allow them into your life and to be, you know, taking up residence with you in your mind. Our mindset has to shift if we're going to get to where it is that we want to be. And I'm including myself in this. The reason why relationships are not working is because we do not give all glory and honor to God. We do not submit ourselves to Him. That's the number one reason. But then the secondary reason is because we don't honor ourselves. And we believe that other people are supposed to be something, and they're not. And when we see the writing on the wall, we don't call it for what it is because we want to believe in something and we want to believe in them. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be real personal. The reason why I married the man that I married was because I wanted to believe in him. It wasn't that he did anything so great. I wanted to believe in him. And so I did. So when I was married all those years ago, nice fella, he's still a nice man. He's a good father. He's a good dad to his kids. But he wasn't for me, but I wanted to believe that he was. And so, I did what I did. And it broke my heart. And that's why I know that my stinking thinking and your stinking thinking will always lead you to a broken heart. You have to pay attention to what you believe and what you think about you. Because at that particular juncture in my life, I didn't think very much of myself. I didn't know who I was. I didn't have any clarity around that. I didn't know how powerful I was even back then. I thought my power was in my raising my voice. I didn't realize that my power was really in me lowering it. This is real talk. I didn't realize that my power was in my feminine energy, and I always exhibited masculine. And I thought I had to. I didn't realize that God would fight my battles for me. I thought I had to fight them myself. And so I approached it with a totally wrong attitude. I approached it with not even having any idea of what to expect or what I should get in a man, even though I had my dad around until I was 16 years old. So here's the truth. It was my stinking thinking that led to my broken heart. And I own it. And I take responsibility. And when I do that, that is when I gain my power. And I think most of us don't have the power that we really want because we don't own or take responsibility. It's almost like, no, somebody did this to me, and that's a victim mindset. We are not victims. And if you think you're a victim, then you're giving away your power. I'm going to tell y'all, I cannot wait to March the 8th, because when I tell y'all I'm coming down through there, this workshop is going to be absolutely amazing. We are going to have an amazing time, and the lunch is going to be dope. It's a buffet lunch. It's going to be chicken. It's going to be different Italian dishes. It's going to be like a whole spread. I cannot wait for this. It's going to be amazing. and I'm ready because I want to talk about healing our hearts. And I can only speak to this because I've done it, because I've done the work. And I want my sisters and my brothers to do the work, and men are going to be there too. One of my brothers already bought 2 tickets. And I was like, "Are you serious?" He's like, "Yep." I was like, "Okay." But I knew that that was going to happen because men always come to my workshops because they dope, and they realize that they too want to grow, like they want to get better. And then husbands and wives come, even though I be mainly talking to singles, but it'd be couples there, married people there. It's just like dope. I have such an amazing group of people who rock with me for real, right? So yeah, I'm excited about this workshop. Yeah. And I can't wait for y'all to come. I want to see all of y'all in person. I have not had an in person workshop since 2019. And so I'm excited about this. I really am. I'm extremely excited about this. Yes, it's going to be dope. But I want to tell you, you got to watch me on Bars and Hoop on Facebook Monday nights from 8 to 9 p.m. Bars and Hoops Radio. Me and Najee Smith doing the Protected Class show. It is amazing. We had such a good time last week. And also this week um, we're going to be talking about loving our sons and raising our daughters. I remember Dr. Adelaide Sanford wrote a body of work around this, and then she came to Hempstead High School and did a thing at the auditorium there, and it was absolutely amazing. I had to go meet this woman because she is amazing, and I have to look up her body of work too before the show. But I'm saying this to you because the show is going to be dope, and we're going to really talk about how women love their sons and raise their daughters. Like, we're going to talk about that. That's going to be some good stuff. That's going to be some really good stuff. Yeah. So anyway, y'all, thank you so much for watching. I love y'all like I love me some fried chicken, and God knows I love me some fried chicken. Listen, y'all be blessed. Y'all have an awesome and amazing evening. And I will talk to y'all. Hopefully, I'll be going live this week. I might be on TikTok. I might be on IG going live. I've been going live everywhere lately. But yeah, so let me get on Facebook and go live for my good peoples. I might go over on TikTok and go live right now. Listen, I love y'all for real. Y'all be blessed here.